Just letting some people pop in real quick. We got some cool stuff to talk about today. People are starting to come on live. It's so weird wearing all these professional shirts, man, with freaking collars and stuff. I feel weird. So how's everybody's weekend? It's Shaggy over at Shaggy's Consulting. We're gonna come on. We're gonna do some. We're gonna be on for a little bit. We're gonna spend like an hour. I've been really wanting to come on and do some educational videos and stuff. This is gonna be a good one. I was gonna do this on Friday, and I didn't get a chance to because we went to the tournament. And you see my knees all in a brace. It was really fun. Me and Melissa got to go to Kansas City and we got to spar. I can't believe 740 to 50-year-old guys could show up at one time to fight. It's crazy. And not really fighting, more like points, but it takes a lot of work. It was funny. I got almost knocked out, and then my knee got shifted over to the right side. My jaw was over this way. I'm still recovering. It's kind of hard getting your old ass out there and doing this crap. So the reason why we're on today is to give you guys some updates. You know, a lot of people are having struggling right now. A lot of people are having trouble with load boards. You see a lot of owner operators on Facebook looking for jumping ship. Drivers are popping up, but people still can't find drivers. People on the load boards, Freight Waves is saying it sucks out there. DAT's talking about it does too. But I just don't understand because it's like this funky world where like 50% of the industry is making money and the other 50% are not, you know. And it's crazy too because we just had a meeting and we're setting up Shaggy's Logistics and Associates right now, and I'm gonna go to the accountant here in a few minutes, and then we got the lawyers, and we're getting everything geared up to do what a lot of people didn't do. And you see it too, right? You see it because you talk to a trucking company every day, and you wonder, talking to a trucking company on a daily basis, right? You wonder why they have so much trouble. It's because they don't know how to dispatch. They don't know how to really get connected with the brokers. They don't know how to take time, and they think it's harder than what it is. What's up, Julianka? They think it's harder than what it is because they haven't taken the time to do it. Seriously, like literally, they haven't even took the time to find out if it's hard. Like literally, they haven't done anything. What's up, Tire Killer? He knows he's in one. You know, and I even clicked the button to what's up, Mickey Triplet. I even clicked the button, Tire Killer, to show the names and comments from one channel to the next. I don't get this crap. Hey, what's up, Mickey Triplet? Man, guys, keep pouring in, keep sharing the video. So, see, you look at guys. As we're building this new company, I was talking to my new dispatching team here a little ago, and we're really concentrating on focusing on people like Tire Killer. It lives in Arkansas. You know, he can't do what's up, transport Kurt Ferg, the transporter here. I like that. What's up, transporter? So the two biggest problems in the industry, right? Number one, with dispatching is trucking companies don't build the network before they start. Like I even had dispatchers in my class and I talked to them on a regular basis. I'm like, how much networking of your product do you really do as a trucking company or a dispatcher as a broker? Because like literally, if your fucking Rolodex involves now get it. Let me understand this. Everybody has to use CH Robinson, right? Well, we don't have to, or I don't have to use TQL at all, or any of those big brokers. Eh, Okay, so let's go back a little bit here. So there's a difference between dispatching a carrier that's been in business 2 to 3 years, that's lazy and don't know how to sell customers, or it's lack of education, and he's got company trucks or owner operators, and he hasn't gone anywhere with them. It's not his fault. He's good at building credit and buying trucks and talking to drivers and throwing money around, but no one said he was good at running a trucking company, right? So you look at all these big trucking companies that are out there that are, 3 to 5 to 25 trucks. How many of those guys do you really think work together? How many of those guys do you really think if they got a customer, they would really know what to do with it besides throw it on the load board and then lose it to another broker that's on the load board like TQL? Well, why did they lose it, you say? It's because they don't network, they don't study other carriers on a daily basis, and they don't know how to control anybody but their one, two, three, four, five trucks. What do you mean control? I mean, they don't know how to understand the customers, fill in the blanks through brokers, and then tile that together and go after the customers and make a couple of incomes of money on top of some residuals too. They don't understand that. All they understand is I want to have a trucking company, I have the dream to run it. And that's the problem, right? It's just like with brokers. Everybody calls me and wants to be a dispatcher or a broker. And I'm like, well, what do you really have to offer besides DAT truck stop, internet truck stop, or one of those load boards, and then that you're available to sit there? Like you're not invested to their company, you as the broker or the carrier or the dispatcher. The trucking comes invested because if he loses the motherfucker, he can lose more than just his truck. Not everybody can just run back and go and get a job again. There's repercussions, right? That happen. So for you guys that are, let's talk about it individually. Trucking companies. What are you doing with your trucking company that gets you off load boards right now? Like when you get up in the morning between 8 o'clock and noon, when it's busy and you're going through all your problems and drivers are running behind traffic, they showed up and they're not getting loaded in 2 hours. Once you're through all that, right? It's 11 or noon. What do you actually do next on after work on the weekends? How many calls are you getting specifically that you can work with? What's up, Terry Brown? I meant to send you the link for the meeting for the dispatchers this morning. I didn't. Pot committed. Got it. Excellent. All right. So why when a new carrier starts as authority, and I know it's lack of education, right? Or a new broker. Number one, why don't they understand the type of equipment that they're doing? You don't need to quit. Why don't they understand the type of equipment that they want to specialize? You know they don't, because people that get into trucking, they go from drove a dry van. Now they're fucking pulling reefers and they've never done it before because the money's good and their insurance is so high. Why do you pick the wrong kind of equipment? Why do you not understand the drivers? Why don't you understand this stuff and have it picked out before you start? And understand what you're going to do whenever you get customers and how you're going to service the customers when you only have so many trucks in the next 1 year. And if you did get a customer, would you dispatch the carriers to keep it from going to low boards to fuck up your customer? Or would you just do it one way? If you're a trucking company and you got a customer tomorrow and you actually landed on, what would you do with it if he has more loads than you need and he needs help covering it? And you got to keep people like TQL from taking all the freight from them. How will you compete with 1 to 5 trucks? So that's the thing. Just because you're 1 to 5 or 10 or 15 trucks, it's the problem is not competing. It's the problem is you get too lazy, too caught up that you forget how to network. You get lost. Bust the ass. That's how. That means run nonstop, never go home, chase the freight all over the place, and then hope drivers stay out months at a time, right? Is that what it means? Willie? Don't have no life. Don't ever go nowhere. Take one vacation a year. Is that what that means? Busted ass. Because I don't want to bust ass. Really, what I want to do is help a lot of people make money off freight. I want to help people get their trucking companies fixed around. I want dispatchers to learn how to be brokers and brokers to learn how to be dispatchers. And everybody work together, because if you don't build something like that, how is technology going to replace it when no one can get a fucking along? better. Find other carriers in that area to work with you. I agree 100%. So how do you find those carriers? And what if you found them? What would you offer them to help you as a trucking company? So if you're a trucking company right now and you have 5 trucks or 3 trucks or 2 trucks, and you go to a customer, besides saying, hey, I got trucks, you guys do flatbed, let's work together. If that guy offers you more freight than you can handle, have you even networked with any other carriers besides randomly running into them in your area and found out how much they're going to charge and to haul the same freight that you want? Do they even run in the same lanes as you run? And if they did, do they know what they're doing to get back, or will it be a one-way trip? Do they even want to get back? Do they just want a freight chase? If there's carriers that have to be home on weekends in Billings, Montana, Salt Lake City, Utah, Denver, Colorado, then why don't we have a triangle in that area? And then why don't every platform in the fucking United States know that I'm there on a daily basis and I need their freight? And how would I get a hold of you on Saturday, Sunday, and after 4 o'clock while you're eating your bombs and playing wiffle board or throwing beanbag sacks out by your fire? But you said you were a trucking company, but you can't sell, right? You don't know how to sell. You want it all handed to you because you went out and got your authority and you bought a truck. Now you walk around with fucking gold on you and your ass cheeks clacked together because they're so, you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just rambling. I mean, I don't understand. I don't get what your guys' fucking problem is where you can't figure out what you do with your trucking company. Did you really think every carrier that made a big load did it because they lived on the fucking load board? Let's keep going. So, how do we get away from the load board? Using the only tools that we know. That's a really great question. Well, it seems like what you guys do is you just bitch and moan, call brokers all day, post your truck open ended so they can call you with stuff you don't want, get mad at people that take the cheaper rates while you sit around and wait for somebody to call you back that's not going to give you the rate that you want, right? Is that what you do? Or you wait for your dispatcher to call you and think you that, then you let the dispatcher to call you because you think that they're going to call you and offer you something better than you can't find yourself because they found a network that you didn't have. Is that how it works? But they're all using the same list of 40. Just check the names out again. It'll be the same as the next 40 guys. So between 12 and 3 every day when you guys have free time, find your own loads. Oh, so it's funny about people chatting on here, find your own loads, but this guy is running a company that has a few trucks now. He's taking it over. And I asked his dispatchers, what 5, 6 cities are they running? And if I could post you out, if I could find you in those cities, whether you were there or not, would I be able to find you? And it would tell me exactly what you want. And are you even, then would you even have the trucks in the area to cover it on the ones that you're working for? Time management's a very hard thing, especially staying ahead when you're by yourself. It's hard. One truck companies, that's why they get manipulated so much. You guys understand this, right? Let's get back to this. Because you guys are allowing other people to run your company, you don't know how to grow it the right way. Plus, you're just doing load boards and then you think you're going to go to chambers of commerce and just pull shit out of your ass because you need to find your own freight or get out and drive around your car. There's so much more than that. It's a ton more than that. So if you're on the load boards now, what do you actually do to network? Like if I was to call you up and say, yeah, I seen you have a trucking company in Columbus, Ohio. Where do you run? Well, do you do 150-mile radius of Columbus, Ohio, 100-mile out and back, stay dedicated, local? Do you run to Columbus to Cleveland or Columbus to Charlotte or Columbus to Nashville or Columbus to Indianapolis or Columbus to Michigan? Or do you run straight back? And do you do it every day? Or do you have trucks available? Even though your authority only says one, how do I put that there's more trucks available when they're not even going to ask me for my MC number when they call a network? But you're not doing it because you don't have time to answer the extra phone calls. I get it. I understand. And you don't have time to network. So when trucks fall off of good counts and you're there to help. But what if you're not there? What if you can't help on that one, but you can offer to help on the next 3 and that guy doesn't come back? Would that be a doorway for you to get in on something? Because obviously all the contracted, all the dedicated, all the big bids and everything that's coming up, it pops up on DAT first, right? Isn't that right? all that good stuff, those high dollar loads, the specialized, the mushrooms, asparagus, the eggs, the furniture, the lawnmowers, Husqvarna, the bean seed, the Halloween costumes, the Girl Scout cookies, the hot sauce, the peppers that make the hot sauce. Where does that all come from? Who's making it? What kind of trucks do they use? Do they only work with carriers? I mean, how are all these other 3 truck carriers getting into customers and pulling, but I can't? How are you using this load board right here, this DAT load board? Everybody talks so much apart. Well, I'm confused because 1 minute you're supposed to use a dispatching service called Smart. Well, next minute you're supposed to get customers. The next minute you're all fucking slobs. The next minute you're not. Fuck, I don't know how this shit works around here. I just know I can't wait to get rid of boot camps. I'm telling you. I mean, I love teaching you guys like crazy, but I'm so excited about opening another business and getting to this freight sales class starting on Wednesday that we're doing, so we can teach people how to sell freight and sell themselves to customers instead of just working with brokers. I've been wanting to do it for years, and now I'm going to. I just kept relying on other people that say they would do the work, but the only person that's going to do the work is you. All right, so let's keep going. So we have DAT on it, right? And today I've seen like 25 posts in Dallas, Texas. So we go up here, 25 trucks complaining about freight in Dallas. And I go and look on here. Always like looking at that first, and you look on here and you're like, oh, well, let's go in here and see what we got up. So we go and type new load search. We'll type in Dallas, Texas. Dallas, Texas. So when you guys type in Dallas, Texas, one thing I want you guys to learn about real quick is called posting and searching with direction. So always know why you're going to where you're going when you book loads, right? So don't just go Dallas, Texas. Don't ever search like that. Always search to a point. So if I want to go to Dallas, I want to go to Nashville. And I'm just trying, and I don't just want to see what's on there. I want to see what's going on there for the whole month, all the time, because I want to start building it. I may not run this right now, but I really want to start. But I may still have to freight chase until I can get away from doing what I'm doing. But I am going to type in 100-mile radius to 100-mile radius. And then I'm going to put my trailer, my 53 foot or whatever my size is. And then I'm going to put my 45,000 pounds or whatever you guys want to haul. Then I'm going to put 24 hours back. But make sure you click this calendar when you're posting or searching and you go out 30 to 60 days. Always. I know it's the problem. Why can't you apply it? Really? Why can't you pick these cities, set it up, post it, and answer the phone while you're fucking driving and keep networking? Why wouldn't you stop every day for like an hour on your break? Why the night before you go to sleep, can't you email your list of brokers that because you're posting that you're filling in those blanks? It takes work, Brian. So now that you see this, you go up here and you look on here and you see this. So if you click this age button right here, sorry, not the age button, remember the pickup. So now you have everything lit up by the date that you put it in, right? So 9/18, we got our dates in there. And so what it does is start showing us every load that we have coming out going across. It's not that I want these loads. I want to see how many brokers that are in Dallas, Texas that are going to a specific location. Now, here's the fucked up part. So I can go back and edit it, right? This is what you guys are doing now. So you guys are just doing Dallas to Dallas. You're putting Dallas in there, and then you're sitting here waiting, and you guys go out today and you're working it. Then if it gets past 2 or 3, you're going to start working on tomorrow and say, fuck it for the day, right? Isn't that what you're going to do? I got it. So now you guys are going to search like this because you kind of know you want to stay in a certain area. But shit, there ain't nothing really in there. It's Texas, Texas. Here's in North Carolina. So you go through here and you look and you're like, shit, man. It says there's 400 and something loads on here. But half these motherfuckers are a year to hour to 5 hours load. And really, you look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll just go down to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So maybe 30 brokers, right? 30 brokers listed within this first hour right here, right? 30 brokers maybe within that first hour that are on here that are for the 29 that aren't double posted or triple posted or crap. This is what DAT. Now, and on top of this, DAT has allowed every fucking foreign person, California person. I'm not against foreigners at all. I'm talking about working outside the United States. And I'm not against that at all either. I'm just a USA kind of guy. That's why everything that I build in my new company will be students from right here in USA. The good old state of USA. Even though I could do it anywhere I want, but I don't want to. Yeah, it'll be pre-recorded, Terry. Go back and watch it again. All right, so it's crazy as you guys are on here. There's like 10 or 15 people flying through here. There's 30 loads on this board, right? 30 brokers, maybe 40, right? But the problem that we have with this whole situation is within a 100-mile radius of Dallas, Texas, on this site right here. So this is called e-carrier check. And I'm a dummy. I'm not technology approved, but I know I can go right here on ecarriercheck.com. You guys see that right here? This is called e-carrier check. And I can go right here and I can hit search. And what I did is I just found every broker has 1 year plus experience, and I could go 2 years or whatever I want. I got every broker, right, that's authorized, and there's some on here that aren't authorized that are within a 60, 70-mile radius of Dallas. And there's probably 50 to a page, and there's 1,425 pages of fucking brokers. Now everybody's like, what do we want with more brokers? Well, that could be a really good clue because both boards have brokers. One has brokers that want to play a market because you see the numbers alone, you don't know how to do no work, so they can take advantage of you. And then you get mad because you think they're keeping all the rates because you don't know what to do. Why do you want them to be older? You think the more established they are, they've been in business that long, hopefully they're just not paying for a bond and they're actually moving freight. Longer in business, hopefully they're not just paying for the bond for the hell of it. And it's good to call and email them because sometimes you get connections with the trucking companies that have activated brokerages. See, the whole thing is the research, and you guys don't have time to do the research where you call carriers and ask them why they're hauling with your customers. Or you call brokers and find out who their customers are, the lanes they have, the freight they're moving, if it's contracted or not, how many loads are coming out a day, does their customer have more loads than there's this one? They give it to you because they know that you fuckers won't go do the work. You're not going to go to ecarriercheck.com, look up 100 customers that have trailers in their parking lot, do the 5 5s to figure out everything, then call up the carriers to verify what you researched and if they work for them direct or not, or go through brokers. Find the brokers that aren't on the load board, these 1,495 brokers. Find out what the fuck they're hauling. And obviously, if they're a broker, somebody's got to be a salesperson at that place. So who the fuck are they selling for? Because I'm not signed up with them. I don't know them. You're like, why would you want to be signed up with hundreds of brokers so they can go sell my trucks to customers that need my type of truck, and then the brokers can come back and tell me what they need help with, and then I'll put two and two together and go and get it because they didn't. I mean, how many brokers out there really dispatch that you talk to on these load boards? If they do, it's a couple trucks. I'm asking you guys. I already know this stuff. So in every one of these cities, you're connected from one point to the next. So if you live in Texas and you don't want to leave Texas for the next 30 to 60 days, every broker between Oklahoma City and Dallas, Dallas, Houston, Dallas, Laredo, Dallas, San Antonio, Dallas to Lubbock, Dallas to Shreveport, Dallas to Little Rock, Dallas to Memphis, Dallas to Jackson, Mississippi, Jackson Street, New Orleans. All those posts are out and back, and you're doing it as power only. So people with customers that have trailers can call you to offer you rates on contract gigs. You guys are doing that nonstop, right? I mean, it's not hard. You just find the brokers that are in your area And then what you do is you go right here and you click this email thing. And then you click these things here on these dots. And it actually puts them in a sheet for you where you can text them, email them, keep them for later, and call them. I would do at least 2 of those. It's amazing what's in your own backyard. Then you got to go get the trucks. That's what I'm talking about. None of these guys do any of this. And if you take 10 trucks or 15 trucks and control them, do you understand how much freight that is a year per truck? Just think if you make 4% dispatching off 7,500 a week times 43 weeks round trip, right? What? And then your brokerage, you take another 15%. If that carrier's numbers 7,500 plus per week and he can do it for 50 weeks and that motherfucker's happy with it and the next 100 guys are too, then what's your problem? Add your fee on top of it, make it on both sides, and broker it to them. We've been telling people to do this forever, and they still fucking haven't done it. I mean, how many times do you have to tell people to take control of their business? Stop letting other people run it for you. Start networking. Build this. If you don't do it now, you can't keep driving the truck before you crash and burn. No, sorry guys. There's my Be Live platform, guys, is actually going live on Instagram right now. It's actually live on YouTube, and it's live on 3 or 4 different Facebook groups. So you might only see 3 in there, but there's probably, I think we're running between 20 and 25, something like that, different places. So we're in different platforms. That's why it looks weird. It doesn't show everything on here. So, anyways, so when are you going to start networking? And if you do start networking, are you prepared to take the freight? You're like, well, we can't be there when they need us. I understand. You think they're always legit with you? It's about building your lanes. So when they call you, listen, when you're doing all these emails and you're doing all these posting with directions where you actually go from Dallas to Nashville, then you turn around and go Nashville to Dallas, and you do it every day for the next 60 days. Naturally, right now you only have 2 trucks, so you can't be there every day. But they don't know that. You're like, they look up the numbers of trucks on your MC before they call. Well, tell them your wife's stupid and she fucking forgot to update it, dumbass. And you just added more. It's all right. They'll be on the insurance when we book the loads. Don't worry, motherfucker. Just shut the fuck up and tell me about what you got. And let them acknowledge the load that you have. And then find out if they have anything else. Find out everything. You know what I mean? But you don't do this because you sit on the load board or you use a dispatcher that's sitting on the load board because it's easier than you to do it, right? Right? It's easier for you to do it. And you wonder why these guys come and take so much money from you. Well, everybody should just get their part. It doesn't work that way. You're either a feeder or an eater. An eater will always be working for somebody else in some form of fashion. A feeder will everybody else be working for him. It's your choice. It's not being mean. Some people could stomach making $400,000 net profit to a million a year. Other people listen to people talk about it and wish they could. We're not talking about millions. You don't walk out there like that. We're talking about hundreds of thousands. Most people out here don't even know what it's like to hit 6 figures, let alone 7. Don't let them why. They just talk a lot. Oh, they'll give it to you all day long. So, that's what's really cool about this freight sales class and the dispatching webinar we have coming up next week on the Monday. And then that's what's cool about the freight sales classes starting here in 2 days with me and Jared at 10 a.m. We're going to take the experience of taking it to the next level over 4 weeks. We don't teach any of the stuff we teach, well, some of it, but not much. In the boot camps, we're going to be able to extend it. We're going to teach people how to find carriers, sell carriers, get carriers to utilize our customers. And we're going to do it in a format over 4 weeks. That's really, really cool. So, guys, stay tuned. Get in on the dispatching webinar. It's my very last one that I'm doing coming up September 5th. And get in to Shaggy's very last broker webinar. And and get in on it, then the rest of the time, guys, you're going to have to hear about it. That's all you're going to do. You're just going to watch and hear about it. Because the only thing you're going to be able to do is come and spend a Monday and Tuesday in person with me or do some consulting online. It's just the way the world goes, man. You get tired of saving it. Now you have to go do something a little more important and become a part of it again and just actually do the work. You get tired of seeing everybody live. How many times you tell people to pick up the scraps that are worth gold? You know, you look at banks. Banks make money off 3 cents. Why do they make money off 3 cents? Because they do it a million times a day. Free money. Why are you always being a slave? Guys, my cell phone number is right here on the top, 812-870-2039. Come back and watch the video again. But what are you doing to fix your company? How many emails to new brokers that are specifically where you want them at? How many times are you getting on a software like eCarrier Check and finding carriers and calling them and saying, dude, you've been in business like 5 years longer than me. What do you pull around here to survive through these errors? Instead of the low board, specific people. When are you just calling brokers before or after you start and letting them know specifically what you want and when you want it, and you'd be available for it? Don't you think when you get customers, you're going to have to keep them up on stuff like this and build your network? When will you start? No one is. I get it, man. I get it, Brian. I see this every day. You know why I'm quitting? Because I'm tired of telling people to do it, and then all they do is make excuses not to because they don't want to do the work or they just didn't get enough time. That's why I'm starting the freight sales class, Brian, where we're going to spend the first day of the week, this Wednesday. We're going to go over your backyard and a bunch of other places for all these people to join, and we're going to start working their area. I don't give a fuck if it's McAllen, fucking Texas or Billings, Montana. If that's where you live, that's where we're going to go find the freight. Then we're going to find the freight. Then we're going to find the carriers and find out what the fuck they're doing. And then once we find those carriers, we're going to try to partner up with them. We're going to find the brokers. We're going to do all that. We're just going to make tons of phone calls. Be like, we're going to call up brokers. And some brokers will be brokers that we find on the board. Some brokers will be brokers we find on eCarrier Check. And some brokers will be brokers that we call because we call people like you, Brian, with Tire Killer Trucking. And we're going to call you up and you're going to tell us so much information about customers that you haul for through brokers just because you want to talk and there's an opportunity for you. And then we're going to go and find the brokers that are hauling for these guys. And we're going to call them like we're interested in their freight with or without a real MC number. And they're going to tell us everything that we need. And they're not going to expect us to go do more work to them. And we're going to find the carriers. Will every customer work with us? Will every customer fall through the door? Will we land every one of them? No, but I'll tell you, when they do answer the phone or they do tell us that they need trucks at a certain freight, we're going to take care of them. Trey says, I live in Edinburgh, Texas. I like Edinburgh. I like McAllen. I like all that down there. I always wanted to get in there to Missions Tortilla, all those guys. Me and Eduardo were talking about that. Hell, I got to get my head above water before I take anything else on. I get it. And you're not the only one. That's why we're building this new company, Brian, because there's a lot of guys that would sell, but the reason why they won't sell or even open their mouth, Brian, because if they landed it, it would help them, but they don't have anything to do with the rest of the freight. Brian's only one truck, so he's always got the mentality what to do. But when Brian lands, a customer has what he wants and more freight. Number two, Brian can get that customer, answer the customer, then send the customer into our team. And then we're going to help take it over and work personally one-on-one with you to help you assist with what you need, get some backhauls, and then we're going to go out. We're going to take that customer and broker the leftover freight out and pay you a residual off everything for the life of the deal. So there's just so many different ways to make this work. And we want to work with a lot of one truck guys because if you think about it, in 1 year, I guarantee you one truck guy is going to find more customers just because he's a one truck guy on time than what a guy is with a fleet. Just because he'll talk a little more, he'll investigate stuff a little more, he'll pay attention, especially if you get a go-getter, you know what I mean, that knows what they're doing. But the problem is people have nowhere to go with it when they got it. They're stuck. What do I do? So they don't try. Oh, the new freight sales class? You don't want to take that on yet. You're not really. I mean, you got to get your trucking company under control first. But if somebody wanted to take the freight sales class, it's $2,000, it's 4 weeks, and it's 10 to 3 during the day. And you have to have an established trucking company or an established brokerage to do it. Because I mean, what good is it to land customers on the 4th week, right? And to have nowhere to put them. I mean, you could put them with my brokerage, but it's kind of. I mean, we will, but it's kind of the meant of the purpose for us to actually land customers, for you in your area. Like the whole 4 weeks is based on you doing what I just said and then doing a little more. So all those things are pouring into a funnel and they're laying out in front of you. And then you go and take them and put them in the dots where they need to go on that map. And then you keep adding to it, right? The relationship. Because if you get more people to do it over and over, that's the less people you need to look for, right? Who knows? Maybe I'm past my time and people weren't ready for the mindset that I was thinking about, and stuff. And I don't know. There's Don Baker rolling in the house. All right, guys, you guys can play the video, but everything's rolling. We just had a dispatcher meeting. Like I said, I'm going to the accountant. I got the bond getting filed this week. We'll be active next week. Put a few more details, fixing up some contracts, and we're going to be working these regions with our previous students like you guys have never seen it. And everything's on the table. There ain't no friendship and love and war, man. It's either work or get the fuck out. I don't care. God help anybody that joins my the team that I'm building and they come in and they're misconfused to what I told them they're going to have to do, because if they tell me they didn't work fucking as hard as I did, uh, they can leave, because I'm not gonna do it. Go do your fucking part-time job somewhere, or go do whatever you want to do. I don't care, but just don't do it here, because we're going to actually grow like crazy. Anyways, so freight sales is this Wednesday, dispatching is next. The last one is next Monday, and the last broker training is September 19th, and I'm through. And then I'll be doing nothing but live training in persons and working on my own company. So you guys be good and think about how much networking are you actually doing, and do you really need, if you need help, set up a one-on-one with me. We'll go back over this stuff. Do a demo with Jared. I think what's today, Monday? Hell, there's a one at 6 o'clock at ecarriercheck.com. You got to do like six. You got to do like 3 of those things. Like I've been with these guys for a year, and I still get confused with all the shit in this thing, man. There's so much stuff on here. I forget where the hell I'm looking and stuff. It's nuts. That's why I can't wait to learn more about it as we're using it through our freight cells. So, guys, take care of your business. Stop running around in circles. Stop being dictated by freight waves and internet truck stop and DAT, especially DAT, crooked sons of bitches. Take control of your business. The turn is coming. How long will it be? And where will you be? I guess that's totally up to you guys. Because what I see is me and Frank have been preaching and preaching and preaching. I'm on my 14th year. Frank's been doing it forever. And I don't think people care. I think all you want to do is run a risky business, hire trucks because somebody says it's good. You don't want no criticism how to do it better. I get it. And I'm fired, and I'm really fucking tired of being the guy coming on and telling you. I know you guys get tired of seeing me come on and tell you all this stuff all the week, because if we weren't, we would be growing. So if everybody else is so busy trying to fix their fuck up or raping in the money, I'm tired of being compared to RBBS Learning Center or Trucking Guru or Alex with Good Energy with his fucking signs on the trailer. One of the other 8 million fucking training. Hell, I even seen RBBS is now training. He's got it all laid out. He's training people to franchise to be training in his platform. Now he's selling that too. It's like, oh my God, the only thing that guy hasn't sold is his mom, and he probably did. And he's never fucking owned one trucking company. And look at all this shit. People flock to him like he's throwing fucking dog food pellets on the water with catfish coming to him. That's what destroys a lot of this industry, putting the wrong people in that shouldn't be here. Everybody has their place. How am I the judge? I am not the judge. I just know you got how many people I've trained, and you guys don't do the work. Very few. And if you do the work, you don't have a team to support you if you get into a bind. And that's what holds you back. We're going to fix all that right here in the next 2 months at Shaggy's Logistics. Just watch. We'll give you a place to call home. Brokerage is coming soon. The dispatching and Anson trucking's on its way. Everything's rocking and rolling, man. It's all clicking out. It's just timing. It takes so much time to set up something that's going to launch so big. You know what I mean? Stay tuned, and I'll see you guys soon. If you didn't get to see the video, play it back, record it, watch it over. But why are you not networking? Why are you not talking to 30 new brokers, carriers that just like you, see who they're hauling for, what brokers they're working for, and customers that are right by you that have your trailers inside their parking lot? Why are you not working with those guys? And then if you're a trucking company, what the fuck would you do if you got the customer and you only have 12 trucks? They got 85 more loads a week than what you can handle. How will you keep somebody from taking your freight because they do more or do more than what you can? Or is that customer like that? They don't care. They have like 10 trucking companies. You want to be the guy in the middle, they say, not the first or the last. Anyways, I'm still rambling. Guys, be good. Take care of yourself. Build networks. If you guys are having any trouble, just call my cell phone number at the top. We still do the consulting and stuff. Get in the next 2 classes. They're the last ones. Kind of weird saying that. Peace out. Be good. See you guys later.